Alright, let's try that again. That didn't go so well. Good morning. Had a couple people coming on there, but we, I don't know if my Wi-Fi went out or if it was because I was outside or not, but we're going to try it again. I apologize for that. So let's start over, I guess. We just took the pup outside and brought her out. That's when it kind of kicked us off. So that first attempt was pretty poor, but so I brought 3 dogs today. I'm at the shop. Ben here, that's Taylor, her mom. That's Ellie. And then we've got Spry in the kennel. She's hungry. She hasn't eaten yet. So what I was going to do today is we're going to go through kind of a very similar routine to what we've done at my house. We actually went live here once before, and I don't think we had that much issue. So I'm hoping that that was just a freak thing that kicked us off. But so we're at our shop. So it's going to give us an opportunity to do some more things. I brought a couple other dogs. John's back. Becky's here. Kaylee's here. Cody's in. Welcome, guys. Do me a favor, share away. Let's try to grow this too. I can't believe the improvement we've seen over the last, I guess it's probably 2 weeks now that we've done this, with the number of people that are following, the number of views, and the number of questions and interaction. I think that's the point of doing them live. So I think that I credit that to you guys sharing. So please continue to do that for me. But what we're going to do is I've got a different platform here today physically, and you've heard me talk a lot about replicating the same behavior in different spots. I don't want to have dogs that just memorize routines based on geographic location. So I want habits to transfer wherever we go. So today we're in a completely different environment. So my anticipation is potentially we're going to have to maybe take some steps backwards with stuff that the puppy has done very well at home. These older dogs transfer real easily because we've gone through this already with her and her. So someone's awake now. When I first woke her up, she was really lethargic. She was sleeping. So I literally woke her up. I got her to come out of the crate. If you look at our last one, you'll see that. So I called her out. I took her outside. She did her business. That's the same routine we do everywhere we go. Dogs sleeping in the kennel or in the pen. If I wake them up, I take them outside. I know they're going to go. If they wake up on their own, I have to get them outside or we're going to have an accident. So that's no different than anything we've done before. It's just our process, our routine when it comes to housebreaking. The next thing I'm going to do is I might do this. Let me pull this pen out. So this is the same little section of fencing that I have at my house. This one is obviously smaller. It's about half the panels. So it's a little bit smaller. But what I'm going to do with her is work on that little bit of recall. And I'm going to work on that little bit of sit work with her. Same as we did at my house. I don't mind doing it in this pen because it's very controlled. So new environment, I'm expecting, kind of prepping myself here, to run into some snags. I think we're going to hit some bumps probably today because of this location thing. It's a big change for this little dog. She's just not used to operating here. So we're going to see how she does. I'm optimistic. I think it'll go fine. We'll get through it. But I don't mind using this real small coop to get early on work. So I got to figure out the best way to do this. See, it kind of throws a curveball at me too, because I'm not used to. We've got a pretty good routine at our house. It works pretty well. You're able to see it. I'm going to see if you guys can see it this way. I'm going to prop that up a little bit. So we're going to improvise. Let's see. So bear with me. This one will be. That's not going to work. Probably. So here's a point of planning. I think you always got to have a plan before you go out to train. So because I've not done this before, we're going to figure out the best way to do it here at the shop. So I'm going to get some stuff that I can use to prop up the camera, and my hopes are that I can get this see what that looks like. I'm gonna wait, I got a little delay, so I'm gonna see what it looks like on my computer. And I'm gonna see if you can see it. So give me a second as this thing catches up. Let's try that. So I'm just gonna get her to come to me and give me a little sit. Sit. Good. I'm gonna make her, what I am gonna do is I'm gonna make her wait a little bit longer before I give her this kibble. So let me get her to sit. Good. She's getting in the habit really of going for that food. So it's another reason why I'm gonna try to phase this out a little bit here. Sit. Good. Good. So you see me come in with the opposite hand. One of the things that I've seen is I've had a lot of people complaining, or I'm hearing a lot of problems come up with puppies nipping and biting. Nipping and biting has become an issue with some of you guys. And what I'm afraid of is it has to do with some dominant stuff, has to do with the puppies understanding where they are within your pack. So what you'll notice with that last one that I had a lot more success with, if I go in with my right hand, come here, sit, good. She has a tendency, she's coming up, she's gonna snap at me. She's gonna snap, 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 snap. Okay, so I'm forming a habit that I don't want. So I want to reverse this habit. So what I'm gonna do is you're gonna see me get the behavior. Sit, good. But I'm gonna come in with the left hand, and my right hand is here. And she's getting the exact same praise. She's getting that same reward. And I'm telling her she's good for that behavior. Now that one was awful. The timing was really bad. My timing was bad. It was more to show you the petting. But I'm going to try to get the same response out of her. Come here. Sit. Good. Good. And so my timing for good, with a little praise and that petting, and she's not even thinking about nipping at me. So that's helping me to avoid that habit. So I'll still give her a little kibble. Come here. Sit. Good. But now when I switch it up and I give her praise, it's going to come from the left hand. Come here. Sit. Good. Very good. Very good. Her tail wags the same amount of times when I pet her as it does when I give her kibble. Might even be more. Because the praise with the petting is kind of drawn out. I think she really likes that. Where when I give her food, watch how quickly her tail is a symbol of happiness. So watch how quickly the tail stops wagging when I give her the food. Sit. I don't even know that there is a tail wag. So it's impulse that she's getting this immediate satisfaction of this little piece of food. I'm going to start getting away from that because she's getting a little bit much with her reaching out and grabbing for it. So now I'm going to get her to come to me. Come here, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Sit. Good. Good. And I'm just going to give her praise. Look how good that one was. Sit. Good. Good girl. She might get food 1 out of 4 this time. I don't like that the pen's so small, but sit. Good. Very good, girl. Now, I'm going to try to do this outside the pen. Let's see if we can have success with it. I'm going to aim this thing like this. See if you guys can see it. So bear with me again. I don't want to break my phone because I just got this one. Okay, that I think will work. So let me go get the pup. She's over here. She's over here completely distracted. She was over there really distracted with the other dogs. So now I'm going to try to get a little bit of that sit and a little bit of this recall. And I'm going to be in and out of the screen. I'm going to try to stay in it as best I can. Now, I'm going to make sure she understands I've got kibble. I want to keep her focused. Let me see. You can see that. Here. Sit. Here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Big place here. Come here. Sit. Sit. Big place. Might not be able to do this today. So when I started out, I told you guys I was a little worried about these conditions. Look at where she goes. Right away, she's over here just having a hell of a time. Now, all of this is really working against everything I'm trying for. So a lot of the people that ask the questions say, well, why don't you just let her run around a little bit and be fun and have some fun and play around? Because that's why. Because all hell breaks loose. I have zero control. Her heartbeat right now is 1,000 miles an hour. She's just racing. She's going, that was phenomenal. What I just did eroded a lot of my training. So I'm not going to allow that to happen. So I'm looking around and I'm going, how do I have the... Hey, this is not the right place for me to work on her outside the pen. So what I'll do is tonight when I get back to our house and I do this, you'll see me work on her outside the pen in the little laundry room area where I can have control and I can gain some success. So I'm recognizing this is the wrong situation for me to be trying to get this out of. Those guys are fine. I can work them free, no problem. They're much older. They're way, they understand and they comprehend the idea of what it is we're doing and my behavior has to transfer. And this one, she's 9 weeks old. She's about 9.5 weeks old. She has no idea how to work through those distractions. So I talked about it last night. I'm going to make a note and remind myself. There's a couple notes I've got because there was a few things that people had asked me that I wanted to talk about today. One of those things that I talked about last night that I didn't do yet is directly related to the situation we have right now that we just went through. We went through this attempt at trying to work on her sit and her recall in a wide open space that's new to her, and we failed miserably. We didn't fail miserably. We would have failed miserably if we tried to continue it. So I, as a trainer, had to look at it and go, I got to change this. We're not going to continue on with it. It's a lose. We're setting up to lose. So what I am going to do is make her focus on this food and get the same response out of the food part that we have in the past. So let me set this camera back up here, if I can. Boy, I'm really on a roll today. I'm turning the camera off. So let me do this. I'm going to set the bowl of food down right here. I'm going to pick the pup up. And so our lesson today with her is going to be subpar. Yesterday I think I rated it like an 8.5 to a 9. Today I'll be really happy to get out of here with a 6. So, but that's okay because I wasn't real prepared for it that well, and the situation isn't that good. I don't have the right setup with the camera. So what I am going to do is I'm going to make sure we get something positive out of it. So we're going to go back to what she has been doing pretty well. She's going to have to settle in here. And what I actually think, what I really want to do is I don't know if I want to send the dog this way to the food. And the reason is because those two dogs are sitting right there. She just got done wrestling with those two dogs, and she knows there's a party going on over there when she gets there. She's really going to have a lot of fun. She's going to really raise some hell. She's really going to do what I don't want her to do. So my fear in that as a trainer is don't set them up to fail. So I kind of recognize that ahead of time. Let's see. And I'm going to set this up a different way. I'm going to set it up to go another way. So let me see if I can get it in this way. This might work. So I'm just going to turn the camera setup so that it's not so easily distracted, okay? That's all I did. So I just physically turned it. And I'm going to slide this over a little bit. So I'm going to do the exact same routine that I've been doing in my house, in our living or in our kitchen. I'm going to hold on to her. Her heart is racing right now. She's shaking right now. Physically, she's shaking. So she's not to the point where she's found the comfort level and settled to where I'm going to reward it with letting her eat. So first thing first, I have to get her to do this. And if you guys have watched this before, it wasn't but a week ago that I held on to this puppy for 26 minutes before I was able to feed her. It's gotten rapidly better because we've been really consistent, and she's settled in very well. But today I threw a real curveball at her. I took her to the shop. I've got her loose with 2 other dogs. I've got this gigantic area in comparison to our laundry room with all new smells and scents and all sorts of stuff. Now I think this is a real nice training area for a dog that's older than her. And I'm going to show you that with some of the older dogs here, because I can get a lot done in this little warehouse. But first things first, she has to settle in. And right now, her heart's just racing. So I'm going to slow down. If you watch this, if you're watching for the first time, it won't make sense. If you're watching it from the beginning, you'll realize this looks a lot like what I did a week to a week and a half ago in our kitchen. We just held on to her and waited to feel her, actually physically feel her slow down. Watch her feet, she's twitching. There's distractions, we've got... So there's all sorts of noises, all sorts of new stuff, and I'm going to make her give me the same behavior change. And she's starting to get there. She's starting to settle in. She's slowed way down. Her heart is slowed way down. She's still relatively tense. You can see that in her head. When her head sinks down a little bit and she settles, she's still twitching a little bit. Just felt a nice change in her. She's settling in a little bit. Every time I talk, she gets a little bit more tense. So I'm probably going to shut up for a second and just see if I can't get her to relax. Because the next step I'll take is what she's done before. She settled in relatively quickly, and I think it's because she's done it so many times before. We've changed the environment, but she went back to that old feeling of, I know what we're doing. It just took her a little while. Big change right now. So that's what I'm looking for. Now I'm going to set her down. I'm going to ask her to show me that steadiness in a new environment. I'm going to make her feet be still. Real nice sit. Spry. I send her on the food. I don't know if you can see it, but she went really enthusiastically. That was great. That was a nice little process. So I'm going to reset it for her. I'm going to have her do it again. I'm going to reset it, have her do it again. Reset it, have her do it again. I'm going to ask a little bit more out of it each time. I'm going to ask for her to steady a little bit, give her the thumbs. She loves that. I do too. So I'm going to bring her back, reset her on it. She knows where that food is. So let's see how quickly the settling takes place this time. Feels good there. Sit. Spry. Good girl. So that one was a lot longer. That was maybe one of the longest ones I've made her wait. I thought she did a real nice job. What I really liked was she checked at me, checked to me, checked to me. 3 different times she looked up at me. So she understands I'm not going until you tell me to go, Dad. So that's good. That tells me we're taking the right steps that way. I'm going to reset it and do it again. Now the thing that I did differently on that one, and I don't know if you could hear it or not, but when she goes, she's naturally sitting. I'm not telling her to sit. We got that by the last week or so. We've made her put her butt on the ground before she gets a chance to go eat. So that was an incremental step. That was a step that we took from before we just made her stand on all 4. Then we made her butt hit the ground. Now I'm making her butt hit the ground and make her wait. Well, that tells me she's understanding sit. So just like in the pen, I started timing the command with it now. I've started timing. As she's about to sit, I'm going to give her a verbal cue. Sit. Boom. Sit. Her butt hits the ground. I'm rewarding or praising. So we're shifting and doing more praising now than we were rewarding with food before. Before, we were giving her food almost every single time. She's got so used to it now, I'm going to start shifting away from it. I don't want to spoil her and have a brat. I want her to understand that when she does something well, she's going to get a reward. Food maybe to start out with, praise is going to take over quickly. So let me reset her one more time. And I'm going to time it with the command sit. So listen for that. I'm going to catch it right before she goes, and I know she's going to go quickly because her habit right now is sit quickly. She's shaking right now. So she's not going to go until she settles in. She's literally shaking with excitement. So we're just going to take a step back. Have her settle. She's not there yet. See that shaking? I mean, she's so excited. It just now went away. She's twitching. She's that excited about this. So that's not going to get her down. She's going to have to go back and settle the way she did in the beginning. So this is the painstaking part, guys, because I think a lot of people would have thought, man, he's gotten her really good over the last week or so. Why isn't he moving on a little bit quicker? Because we're going to run into bumps and we're going to have to slow down and take steps back. I realize that and I'm okay with that. You got it too. The thing is when the dog is ready to move forward, you move forward. Sometimes the dog is going to take a step back and I don't go, she's over that, we can just keep going. No, apparently not. I got to back up and make sure I get what I'm looking for before I move forward. Or we'll just keep going forward and eventually it's like trying to drive with your brakes on. You just doesn't work very good. So I got to figure out how to get the brake off before I'm going to accelerate. Well, I got to figure out what the problem is. So the problem with her right now is I think it's completely environment. New spot. New noises. She keeps trying to look up over the crates. The dogs are over there. She's very distracted by that. Well, she was very distracted at our house when we started by having dogs in the kennels or on their places. But she figured out how to work through it. Now she's going to have to figure out how to work through this. She wants to push off of me, so I'm not going to let her. I'm holding her real close so you guys can see her. I'm hoping you can see her change. Sometimes it's real hard to see, but you can feel it. I feel it, and it's not there now. But physically, when it happens, I'm going to tell you. So pay attention to these tiny little details of her physically. Because there was a change. No, she's back to shaking. All those little twitches are literally her muscles are shaking. That's excitement. I'm holding on to her, waiting for her to just relax, waiting to feel that calmness over her. And then when she does, I'll reward it. She's very distracted here. That's okay. One of the biggest things I hear from people is, my dog doesn't focus. My dog gets too distracted. I can't do anything with it. You can. You just have to figure out how to get through it. And that's what we're doing right now. She was really good at my house, and I don't think we'd have had these issues if we were doing it in my kitchen. But we're not at my kitchen. And sometimes we're not going to be at the kitchen. So I need the same behavior, whether it were kitchen or shops or schools or in the field or wherever we are. So this is where patience comes in. She's getting a lot heavier too, so this is where the challenge comes in. I want to get through this stuff before she gets much bigger. can hear the dogs over on their beds adjusting, moving around. Well, what did she do 7 minutes ago? She WrestleMania 75 over there on the beds with those other dogs. So what is she thinking about right now? I want to get over there and raise some hell. Well, not going to happen. That probably is more rewarding to her than the food right now. So trying to get her work through that distraction, the distraction of the food. I'm just trying to get a change in her to settle in. And this is coming after she had been settled and ate 3 times. So this is like the 4th time, and all I want to get is this last one. And then I'm going to get out of it. I'm not going to push it any further. So if I can get a good one, we'll be done for this. I got to get a good one. Lay down, Ellie. There's a nice change right there. I'm going to get her down and feed her. We're going to get her to sit. I'm going to time the sit to match her action. Sit. Good. Good. Spry. Good girl. That's it. I'm going to get out of that one with her. So I'm going to let her finish up. Now, what was going on over here that was so distracting? Look who pretends, oh, not me, Dad, I'm not doing anything. Who's chewing on gravel over here making all the noise? Huh? Someone's over here chewing on gravel and making a lot of noise. And all of a sudden, this little puppy can't focus. Well, that was part of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the pup eat. Welcome all you guys that are joining in. Do me a favor, share away on these. I think that's the best way for us to help grow these things. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put her down into the pen and let her finish her food so that she's not distracted. Because I'm going to jump right in with one of these older dogs. Let me go through and see if there are any questions yet. Welcome, Derek, Taylor, Brian, Jared, Nixon. Coming in late, Nick, you didn't miss much. It was kind of it was a lot of, it was hair pulling at times. It was struggled. It was a new environment. So I have to realize that and go have some realistic expectations. I shouldn't have expected her to do the same thing she did for the last week and a half or 2 weeks because I changed the environment. I changed a lot of stuff. So that's part of why that was. Jason Perryman's in. Drusilla is in. Welcome, guys. So now, what I think I'm going to do is I want to talk about a couple things quick. Then I'm going to do another. I'm going to wait till that pup is done eating before we do a bunch of the retrieve stuff and the heel work. And I might actually do that a little bit later. So on a different set because I got to make a phone call. But one of the things I wanted to talk about is I got a message this morning. And it was from, let's see. It was from a customer who bought one of these, bought a training dummy. And I always tell people, I say, let me know what you guys are thinking. I love it when you guys go and do reviews for us. Those to me are worth their weight in gold because it's easy for me to say stuff works. It's way more powerful for people like you guys who have bought the stuff and are using it to say that it works. So I love it when people do that. But I also ask people to tell me what you think if it's not good. I'd like to hear that too because I'm always trying to figure out how to improve. Well, I got a message this morning. It's the first one I've gotten in probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years, like this. It bothers me greatly. I've been stewing over it. I responded back to him right away because I wanted to make sure that they understood that it's concerning to me. But here's the scenario. I got a picture of a training dummy all chewed up. I mean, it's chewed up pretty bad. And the message that was associated with it said, I'm really disappointed in this product. I bought it at Fleet Farm. I brought it home. I left it with the dog for about an hour, and I went for a walk, thinking that that would get them to understand that they could play with it, and it would help them to retrieve it. And when I came home, they had chewed it up. I'm very disappointed. This product didn't last very long. Nowhere on it does it say not to let them chew on it. So I responded back, and that bugs me. It bugs me because I don't like people not being satisfied with what we're doing. So I wrote them a message back, and I apologized, and I said, here's the deal. It's not a chew toy. And so that has to be really, really clear. This, guys, is a training dummy, and you'll look at it. I mean, take a close look. That is not chew marks. Those are from bouncing off the concrete, bouncing off the asphalt. You'll look at these. There's little divots in it from, this is one of the original, when we made a change years ago with our design, we made a change to go with a more durable material. That's this. I still get pictures from, the material we had before was a foam, more of a foam material. I still get people sending me pictures with their dogs using that foam material. So I know they last, but they don't last as long as these ones. But what I wanted to show you is, this is one that I've used for, God, I bet you I've trained 20 dogs with it over a course of like 3 or 4 years, and it's lasted. And the reason it's lasted is because it's a tool. So you're going to use these things to retrieve under supervision. When it's done, it gets put back away. It gets put in your training bag, gets put on the shelf wherever you're going to keep your stuff. No different than if you're going to train a bird dog, you don't give them birds and just let them play with them for an hour or so to figure out that they might want to retrieve them. That's not the approach to doing it. So I want you guys to understand very clearly, they're not chew toys, okay? So I offered to the person that sent me the message, I said, I'll send you another one, and I'll give you another one, but I'm going to ask you, make sure you read the training booklets. Make sure you understand. These videos are going to help, I think. Our training DVDs, I'm here at the shop. I can finally show you guys some of this stuff. Because these live things are good. We only are able to cover so much in them. The other thing is, it's a process that's going to grow slowly. So you're going to follow along. Here's the stuff. Someone asked me the other day about, can you show us your library of DVDs? I don't know if this is what he meant, but so puppy training DVD is 2 discs. It's over 2.5 hours. The stuff we're talking about right now on steroids right here. This is our game recovery. It's our tracking one. This has spiked a lot lately. So there's been a lot of people that are interested in the game recovery stuff, getting the game recovery kit and DVD. Love that because it's a great time to do it. You got all the time in the world to practice prior to next year for tracking. And then this is the shed one. So we do offer 3 different DVDs that specifically talk about the stuff that we're talking about here now, and actually go into them in much, much greater detail. So nowhere will you ever see me say anything like, just let them play with stuff, let them chew on stuff. We've talked a lot about chew toys in the last couple days because there's been a lot of people asking questions about chew toys. I don't believe in chew toys, period. I do believe in them. I think they're training tools. I think they train dogs to chew. I don't want dogs to chew. So I had to bring that up because I don't want the mistake made where people go, I'm not sure how to use these things, and are disappointed in the results. So I had that was me airing that out. I had to get that off my chest. Melissa in from Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Melissa, are you a Randy Birdsong associate, Stacy Birdsong associate? Do you know those guys? They're from Poplar Bluff. We go down there. We do the St. Jude's archery shoot with those guys. I've had a lot of good times down in Poplar Bluff. Welcome. Scott, Rhett, it's not a chew toy? You're right. Angie's in. Angie Nicole is in. So So guys, so we went through this one, and I'm going to cut this one short because I'm going to come back and do a live here later with Ellie and Taylor and talk about some of the heel work, and I'm going to do some retrieving work. And then I'm going to show you how we piece some of that stuff together. I still have to kind of strategize that out in my mind because I think there's value in demonstration. I think there's more value in teaching and showing mistakes. So these dogs heel really well already, so we're going to have to figure out how to kind of step the pieces, because I think there's a lot of people that are struggling with heel work. And what I don't want to do is show you a dog that heels really well and have you just go, that sucks, because mine's really bad compared to that. How do you get to that? So let me think on that a little bit. But Stephanie in from South Carolina, welcome. So today, the takeaway from this one, I give it a solid 5.5 out of 10. Like, it was just a struggle with the pup. So what I think is, if I do this here again tomorrow, and then I do it here again after that, and I do it here again after that, I guarantee you we'll take steps forward. We'll improve. That's what we need to do. So it tells me another thing I can do is when I'm at home, it's time for me probably to take a step away from where I've been doing it, not do it in the kitchen. Maybe I do it in the living room. Maybe I do it in the hallway. That might be my next step, is I go in the hallway and I put the food at the end of the hallway, and instead what I'll do is I'll send the pup down the hallway. I got Ellie here and she's chewing on gravel again for me. So she doesn't like a dirty shop any more than I do, apparently. So what I will do is I'll probably take that bowl of food and set it down at the end of the hallway, and what I'm going to try to gain by doing that is get her accustomed to behaving the same way in a different scenario, different physical location. So that's probably what I'll do tonight. And the reason I'm doing that is not just because I'm picking the hallway. I'm picking the hallway because later this week we're going to do retrieves in that hallway with that puppy. So I'm going to get her used to going down the hallway and making picks, going down the hallway and being sent down the hallway, and I'm going to send her down the hallway to get food. Sometimes I have puppies that are a little uncomfortable in a hallway because I think they feel a little closed off. So by doing this, transferring our feeding routine into the hallway, I think I'll do a couple things. I'll accomplish comfort level in the hallway. I'll accomplish the understanding of being lined and sent down the hallway. And I'll accomplish, because I'm going to set that up for another link in our training, that link will be early retrieves with a balled up sock. So all that stuff is coming. I'm going to get back later with you guys today and do some older dog stuff. I have to, just because I have to work these two. They haven't done much for the last couple days. So I'm going to work with those guys, whether it be at my place or here. I'm not sure yet. Good morning, Jeff. Jeff is in. Jeff had success last night. Jeff's the guy I was telling you guys about that sent me the message. What'd you say, Jeff? 40 minutes it took to settle in, but you finally got it. Way to be patient. Way to be persistent. Way to win that. End it with a win. Angie, want me to borrow Drifter to show some mistakes? I may do that. I might take you up on that. Matt's watching from work. I hope. I don't know what you do, Matt, but I'm glad you're able to do it. I think that's awesome. So, guys, I appreciate it. We're going to grow from this one. We'll build on this one. Keep following along with us. Keep helping me out by sharing. If you want to, I'd love it if you gave us a review. And if you got things that you don't like about what we're doing, or tell me about it. Because much like this morning, that bugs me when I've got people that are just disappointed in what they're getting from us. I'm going to try to do what I can to make it right. So appreciate it, guys. We will be back. Willie Marlin just joined in. Willie, I might be giving you hollers here shortly. So talk to you guys soon.